On September 16, 2022, 22-year-old Mahsa Jina Amini died while in custody of the government's morality police for wearing improper hijab. This sent shockwaves throughout Iran. A massive protest movement commenced in response as Iranians demanded justice for Amini and equal rights for women. My name is Sydney Martin, and I'm the program manager and a researcher here at the Iran 1400 Project. I recently conducted interviews with a variety of scholars about the woman life freedom movement. Here's what they had to say.
The changes related to this movement, to women life freedom movement, I think we can define them and analyze them from both perspectives. So from my analysis and from what I did, especially considering all the academic and research background and working with lots of artists, especially who are more focused on creating the graffiti and like digital graffitis for this movement. I think it was a really influential and powerful movement, and I would like to call that as a feminist revolution or feminist placemaking, as what I did in my work as well. So I think it had a domino effect in like encouraging and motivating other kinds of movement within the country and beyond. I think in general, if we focus on the case of Iran, it's triggered lots of social movements and voices which they didn't heard before. From women, but also from different parts of minorities in the country. But also I found it really interesting that the Iranian diaspora and international organizations who are living outside the country also shared lots of solidarity and shared lots of common interest from the different voices outside of Iran. And from my perspectives, at least during these years, I think it was the first time that all the opposition, I mean, outside the country and different organizations, NGOs, had the same voice. And I think it's really powerful and influential movement, which is live yet. It might evolve into different forms, but I think it triggered something that cannot be ignored or cannot be denied anymore. I think it created the domino effect of this women's movement, which is creating much more attention and growing in different formats. And so my specific focus to analyze and define the effects of this women life freedom movement was about the digital platforms that's created by different activists, but also artists and all the digital graffitis. I had a long list of interviews with lots of individuals living inside Iran, but also outside. And so my general observation is that it has lots of different outcomes. Some of them might not be tangible yet, but it creates an effect that I don't know how to say that. I think that it will be evolved in different formats, and it's a new perspective, a new beginning, and it's gave the voice to lots of unheard, marginalized people that they didn't have any platform to echo their voice for long years. So I think that's my general observation about that. I think we cannot think about all the existing obstacles for this movement. So at the beginning of this movement, we heard a lot about the internet blackouts within the country, but also lots of repressions and lots of censorship within like the online, but also within the different traditional mediums of like the journalists, newspaper activists within the country. So there are lots of opposition and lots of obstacles. But what I really appreciated in relation to this movement was the resiliency of the activists and the public citizens, to how they came up with new and innovative ways of showing this oppression, but also within the really young generation, even the teenage also had the opportunity to echo their voice. I think that was really powerful, because if we compare that to the Green Movement or Islamic Revolution of 1979, or all the different previous social movements and demonstration, I think two criteria are so unique about this one. First one is it's led and created by young generations. I mean, like even the teenage, some high school students. I mean, the generation that they just echo, they require they voice, and also they started to act differently from the previous generation, and they were so brave and and insisting in like demanding their equal rights. And the second point is that it's, I think, in the, at least in the modern Iranian history, it's one of the unique social movements that initiated and led by women. So, or it started as a counter revolution. So I think these two features are really unique. And these two features, I think it's make this movement to be live and to find resilient ways and sustainable ways to echo the voice and the main message. And rather than just the women's movement, it was also about like the Iranian right and equal right within the country. I mean, it also broadcasted lots of important messages and important demands in a more organized way. So I think although there are lots of repressions, there are lots of obstacles for this movement, but I think that the ability of these young generations to find innovative and creative ways to echo their voice was very important, and that's what will keep this movement alive and influential for longer time. Broad question, I think, but to be able to fulfill the demands and the main ideas for women life freedom movement. So during the previous year, some oppositions within outside the country started to organize a kind of I'm not sure, like organization to be able to discuss about what's next. So what will happen if this movement will succeed. Actually, I want to add that, so we need time, we need more focus, especially when we need more supportive work within the different voices inside and outside country to be able to really materialize the main ideas behind this Women Life Freedom Manifesto and thinking and movement. I do agree that it's not yet there, and I think that it needs more longer vision, more longer, but a structure vision towards the future of the country. So about the previous organization, we heard lots of back and forth, and so they were not being able to really unify the different ideas or different voices within one framework. And I think we cannot anticipate that happen like really quickly, because I think it needs a shift, a paradigm shift, which usually takes time. But I think even acknowledging this uncomfortable, discussion, and really diving into like thinking about the future of like this post women life freedom movement, what will happen? I think that's the most important thing, because when revolutions happen, I mean the day after the revolution, it's the new structure, which we call the anti-structure. I'm just quoting from the anthropological point of view. It's not yet there. I mean, we need that liminal period, liminal time, and transitional time to be able to really manifest and materialize the new ideas. And I think it's not, also it's relevant for the case of women life freedom. I think it created a dialogue, at least a dialogue between the different voices inside and outside country. But for really materializing, I think we need more time, more organization, and more unification of different ideas and different voices. So I think it's not a destination for now. I think I see this as a process, as a rhizomatic process which evolves. But I think it's really influential and important social movement that cannot be ignored anymore. It just keep growing.